Hi guys, Freddie Crespo, broker, owner of Investors Real Estate. Happy New Year. It's January 2024, the month of President's Day. So we're celebrating the greatest president right here. Hey listen, real estate, what's going on? Wasn't it supposed to crash and burn and all these crazy people talking all kinds of nonsense in 2023? They were talking nonsense in 2022. They were talking more nonsense in 2021, and none of their dire predictions came true. But if you look at my videos, guys, go back and I invite you to look at all my market updates and you can go way back to COVID, and everything that I said is coming true. And it's not because I'm some great predictor. It's based on simple supply and demand and the history of the real estate cycle, which I've gone through, and I go through it all. That one video that explains the peak in '89, the bottom in '96, the peak in 2007, the bottom in 2012, and the peak in 2027 is what I'm predicting is the next peak, based on supply and demand, the COVID backlog, and all of that good stuff. You can review that video. Maybe I'll put it up here if you're watching on YouTube right there, so you guys can watch it. But check it out. Go to the YouTube channel if this is on Facebook, and educate yourself. If you own property, you need to know what is going on. When do you buy? When do you sell? What do you do? How do you invest? And how do you maximize ROI? But for the regular, typical buyer and seller out there, this information will be great for you, as well as investors, of course. So with no further delay, let's go. So here we are. I'm going to start you off with the entire United States. We're looking at this graph of what happened in 2022 before we get into 2023. So we started off year over year, up 15% from 2021. That's how we started. Then we get this little dip, and then that's what happens. Prices skyrocketed, even though people said the market was going to crash. But this is 2022. We had the biggest increase ever. The prices were at the highest in the history of the world, right there at $384,000. It looks like it peaked out, and then it started to come down to a little more of a reality, and then the interest rates went up, so that created it worse. And at that point, everyone said, a lot of people said, the market's going to crash next year. Get ready for the biggest housing bubble crash ever, right? Okay, well, let's see what actually happened in 2023. Well, boom, right there. I'm going to put it right up against this. 2023 is the blue. It comes up, that's my phone, 2% year over year. And then we have this little dip. It goes up, and look at the median sale prices soaring up. This is the entire United States, by the way. Okay, 381 peaking there. Now it didn't in the United States. It didn't peak higher than 2022. But look, it exceeded the prices later on from this peak. This peak might have been a little too high. This line should have been more like this, maybe. Anyway, we ended up year over year 4% in the United States. Real estate prices are not peaking in 2024. This is key. It will not peak in 2024. It will not peak in 2025. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's going to peak until 2027. And I've said it in other videos, and I explained why. This is a supply and demand driven industry. And the demand is really strong, not super high, but it's strong. And the inventory is super low, which I'm going to let you know in a second here. Okay, so let's go to 2023 in Orlando, and you're going to see, look at this. We start off at 384,000, and then we drop January 29th. It dipped to 376. This is in 2023. Then it starts to rise, all the way to the peak here in May. And it ended up 3%, 398. If you watch any of my other videos, I said that we were going to end the year at 400,000. So it's very, very close. So my prediction is this line's going to come through here. It's not going to go down like this because there's still no inventory. It's going to come out over here somewhere. This whole thing's a bubble, so it's probably going to exit right around here and end up here around that $400,000 mark at the end of the year. Now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next year. So in 2024, we're going to come out here around the 400,000 range, and this should basically follow this. It might break through this little bubble in 2023. So this is going to come out here, and we're going to end up, I think, up 6%. But, you know, it might be 4%, but somewhere around there. But because interest rates have dropped, they're at 6.5% FHA 30-year fixed. We're gonna see a lot more inventory coming out because now the sellers can sell, get the lower interest rate and go buy something else. And of course the buyers are already here. Economy's good, unemployment's really low. So with all of that, we're gonna continue to see prices rise. Now, if you're a buyer, you're, oh, I'm gonna wait for prices to drop. Well, you're gonna have to wait a long time. Probably to 2032 would be the best time to buy because that'll be the next bottom is what I predict. But you're not gonna buy a house in 2028 if the peak is 2027. Because the market's going to be crashing, the economy's going to be terrible. You probably might not even have a job. And so the properties just keep going down and down and down. No one likes to buy during that time. So this fallacy of I'm going to wait for prices to drop, it doesn't really work that way, right? No one buys when everything's tanking. So when it finally tanked, that's when you should get in. But even then, the average person doesn't want to get in. It is a rich man's garage sale. You see all these big corporations come out and they pick up all the foreclosures. But if you got cash on the side and you still have a job, definitely buy those garage sales. So that's my prediction there. And basically, let me show you inventory. I'm going to show you this really quick just so you can see the year over year in Orlando. You've seen these in other videos. Now, let's take a look at inventory because we were talking about inventory, and I wrote this down here, okay? The average inventory in the United States on like a healthy real estate market is 2.2 million homes on the market at any given time. That's a healthy real estate market with healthy demand. The all-time high was in 2007, right? The last peak of the market right before the crash. The inventory soared. You could see it coming, right? 4 million homes on the market in the United States. Let me get off of Orlando because we need to go to all metros on this. The lowest, the record low, was 860,000 homes on the market. That was in 2022, in July of 2022. And well, let's take a look at it. Where is it now? Let's go to 2022 so we can see that first. Then we'll do 2023. So 2022 inventory, this is active listings, the low over here. And you can see it ended up at 849. Now remember, the ultimate low was 860,000, and we actually ended up at 849,000 active listings in 2022. And take a look at 2023. And that stat comes from NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and I'm looking at the stats from Redfin, but it's pretty much the same thing. Pretty close. So this is 2023 inventory, and look how it comes through right here. Now it's lower than 2022, and that ended up lower than 2022. The inventory is at 817,000, ultra low inventory, strong demand, especially with lower interest rates and low unemployment. What does that mean? The prices go up, and all you got to do is look at the real estate cycle and add that to this equation, and you can figure out when this should peak, unless we go to war or something crazy happens. Okay, so that is what's happening, guys. So guys, I went way too long. I want to wish you a happy 2024. May you guys have a prosperous, awesome year, and may God bless each and every one of you. Take care.
Not just a home, it's an investment.
Investors Real Estate, LLC.